Battletech Tech. We're looking at a question here from a previous Battletech video up on my channel where, in talking about different weapon loadouts, what about rocket launchers? What about looking at some of the outer rim disputed worlds way out there that might utilize lesser technology, meaning you have a battle mech and the core systems are there, but either you need to replace it with something that's a little bit more common. We often see this with maybe the Marauder dropping the PPCs, which are higher tech, and having something a little more stable, like lasers. Or a great example, and I play this variant, the Archer, dropping the 20 packs for massive amounts of rocket launcher packs. Outside of the narrative, because you might play a game where you have the mechs and the narrative dictate one thing, or you might be looking to downgrade some tech to save some battle value, or just looking to utilize it for various reasons. However you arrive at that, I think if you're going to go with rocket launchers, then based on the tonnage, you want it on medium or heavier tons so you can just load up. I don't know if they make them anymore, but Saturn fireworks, good old-fashioned fireworks from back in the day. They used to have these blocks of Saturn missiles. It was like a cardboard shoebox with a bunch of missiles poking out. Think like a Timberwolf missile pods, 2 of them. And playing Battletech, we would duct tape them to our shoulders, make some sort of blast screen out of goggles and like cardboard, and light them off and shoot them at each other. We'll put that aside for a moment, but being a teenager, you kind of do these crazy things, or at least I did. That's what I think of. Just you want something that, if you're going to go with the rockets, light it up. Just light it up. And I specifically play the Archer variant because you still have the medium lasers. Because those rockets, you're going to fire them once and that's it. It's just putting the rocket in the tube and firing it. There's no loading mechanisms. So playing the variant with the Archer means you're going to launch real-time hundreds of rockets out of there. You're going to fire. Think of the ultimate alpha strike. The Archer has the armor. This is for the lulz. The Archer has the armor to just run up there. I mean, you may go to internals, you may damage me, but barring a lucky shot, you're not going to take me out. I'm going to get up there. I'm going to face you as close as I can. I'm going to stop moving. I'm going to flip the switch. I'm going to fire off every single rocket. Everything that I have at you. Everything. Paying attention to the phase of the game. Now, I'm going to overheat. Absolutely, I'm going to shut down. But I've got no ammo left. So then I'm going to just furiously try to mash the buttons to restart. Then when I restart, now I'm going to be doing the medium lasers, and I'm going to be punching you out. It's a lot of fun. I run 2 Archers that way when I'm looking to have something fun. But again, tactically, yes, you're dealing with lesser tech. So I think if you're going to deal with lesser tech and try to use it competitively, then you need the tonnage to mount tons and tons and tons of these, because they're only one shot, and you want to fire them all off immediately as you can. I mean, kind of a lesser missile carrier, a one-shot missile carrier. I mean, that could work. There's a lot of fun right there. And heck, you don't even need any real armor. Don't spend any battle value on armor, because once you fire it off, like, that's it. It's done. So there are possibilities to play it. There are times in the narrative when you may want to play it. But to drop, unless it's a narrative game, meaning like I'm a mercenary company, I'm beat up, I need to repair, I'm stuck on this rock until the dropship comes back, and my LRM-20 got blasted out and the mechanics are done, well, pop out the module and pop in one, 20 missile rack simply because it fits the narrative. I wouldn't necessarily do that tactically. There's got to be multiples put in there to try and lever it. But, certainly some interesting tech. Certainly a lot of fun to play. And this goes back to a debate we were having in the artwork. Why are some lasers red and some lasers green? And someone put forth in the narrative, I don't know if this is true or not, but it made sense. And they did cite some source material other than it depends on who was drawing the artwork at the time. It wasn't so much like Star Wars to mark good versus bad, but the narrative that they put forward in one of the tech manuals, that the lasers in Battletech are green. based on the spectrum and how they burn. We'll put that physics aside. And dropping down to the red lasers, because the light spectrum, they weren't as efficient. They were lasers that were rebuilt or tech that wasn't quite up to Battletech weapons grade, but mounted in Battletech. Maybe it took up some additional tonnage or stressed the fusion reactor more, but it was still in-game functionally the same damage and dice as a medium or a heavy laser or small laser class, but just it wasn't quite up to par as the standard Battletech. I don't know if that's true or not. And the source material that they put forward, it made sense, but it was an interesting way to think about it, and possibly an interesting way to think about some of this other tech in the game.